Hello guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Political Eunuch. Today we are going to be going over my new and improved 2028 prediction. I wasn't that accurate in 2024. I was much more accurate than some of the people who make 40-minute videos explaining their thought process and actually got it right because there's brain activity going on in their heads, but I picked who I think would be the most likely nominee for each party. We have Jon Stewart, who I would be sexually attracted to if the circumcision surgery didn't castrate me at birth, and Marianne Williamson, who I would be the same towards if I weren't a closeted homosexual, which is weird because I'm also 7 years old. That's a pretty weird coincidence. And then for Republicans, we have Elon Musk and M3G. So Elon Musk is going to win the Nazi vote, which is like 80% of the GOP. And M3G is going to be picked because she's unelectable. Just like Donald Trump, who stole the 2024 election. Pennsylvania was actually likely Democrat if you count the extra 20 million ballots for Harris, which is based off an estimation by some resist libs on Twitter from November 5th and is applied to the final result. Because what it is when she had 61 million votes, they decided to take that, and since she would obviously have to get the exact same amount of votes as Joe Biden, ignoring how Trump flipped like 3 million voters and it was a lower turnout election, and how third parties also took a lot of Democrat voters, even though on average third parties did take from Republicans, that estimate would say that she would get the exact same number of votes, which was made when a lot of votes were outstanding, and Kamala Harris was at 61 million, and then she went up to, I think, she settled around 75, 76 million, but people still apply that, as if she got 93 million votes, 94 million votes. But, Starlink deleted 20 million of them. But, anyways, I think that this is going to be my prediction. Or will we say a 2026 prediction if this does pretty well? Um, though my bedtime is at 8 or 7:40 p.m. EST. Um, I gotta go get breastfed and put in my blinky, which is funny because I'm recording this at 3 a.m. Anyways, so let's get into the prediction. So I think the West Coast is going to be pretty solidly Democrat. You're also going to see some of the suburbs turn away from the Nazis. And a lot of the religious conservatives in Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Arizona, the Mormons, the Church of Latter-day Saints are going to go against the GQP, which, as Jesus said, love thy transgender, give them all the things they want, ignore all the costs that has for society, uh, throw money at poor people so that they continue to be in abusive systems like welfare, um, can never get out of it so that more families are destroyed, and like vaguely love each other, man. Like, just, you know, absorb the flowers, and get the positive vibes from the environment. It's all gonna work out, man, as Jesus said. Yeah. So I think that that's gonna swing a lot of Mormons, even though I'm an atheist and I can't sympathize with even the most atheist, agnostic, aligned Catholic. Never mind someone who's basically in a religious cult. I also think that a lot of the border is going to shift away from the GQP. Hispanics will revert this time, guys. What's the plan? The Puerto Rican vote will just be 4 years late, and 4 years late from 4 years late, and 4 years late from 4 years late from 4 years late, and 4 years late. Anyways, I also think that leads to Kansas flipping, and Nebraska. And then I think a lot of the South, all the black people are going to rise up against the Nazis because we can conflate those two. Not drawing three Democrat districts in Mississippi is the same as the Holocaust. TPC said it on his community post. So I think that that's going to make it all solidly blue. Uh, yeah. And when I think the West Belt, a lot of the tariffs are going to be very bad. Um, very bad for the West Belt. So we're going to have a lot of the Rust Belt shift Democrat. And ignore how the Northeast shifted overwhelmingly Republican in 2024, and how likely, the actual nominee would be J.D. Vance, who's a Catholic who would appeal to the Northeast a lot more than Democrats when they run a blatantly atheist campaign, especially with Jon Stewart as the nominee. Ignore that. All of which would be sway Democrat. Ignore how New Jersey was a 6-point margin this year after being 16% for Biden. That's just a fluke. But Texas trends aren't. Um, and and neither are Washington. Washington's going to be D plus 45. The popular vote's going to be D plus 20. And then Wayne is going to be sway as well. So these are all the sway states. Um, oh, and Nevada. You see, Jackie Wilson's won when she was practically uncontested until the final week. Um, she won by 1.7 there. When Republicans try that strategy elsewhere, they lose races by 11 points, but they only lost it by less than two here. But I think because she won, it's probably going to be Swaif Democrat. And then I think we gotta go to Montana, because I've heard that Twester is going to run for another election. And Twister's a very great candidate. Ignore how he, overperformed Hillary Clinton by 7% when you adjust for the exit polls and turnout. He's a great candidate. He's Jesus. He'll win. Even if he was in Idaho, he would win. And Montana will be likely Democrat because there's a lot of Nazis there. Same thing with Nebraska's third. Um, you're gonna see a lot of Nebraska's third revolt. It's going to be Nebraska's first special election 2022 November when they, like dead ass just used an illegal method for the special election where they used the borders for the district it would be enacted after 2022 for the special election to the old seat that was the 2012 to 2020 lines, but I fucking hate the Nebraska GOP, but I think that's gonna flip Nebraska, and then Andy Beshear. I actually think this would be safe because ignore how he's a borderline rapist. He's such a great candidate. He won by 5 against Daniel Cameron, who ran the shittiest campaign like ever known to man. And that's definitely not because of his last name or the fact that he holds no real power, being a governor of an R plus 35 state with Republican supermajority upon Republican supermajority in both chambers of the state legislature. To call Kentucky Republicans a supermajority would be the understatement of the century. There should be something for if you just control everything. Like, you are the god of elections. You have every seat, and you pull the strings. Um, I'm fucking tired, man. I'm losing my mind. You own everything. If it was something above supermajority, it'd be Kentucky GOP. Ignore that. And then West Virginia, they're racist, but they're gonna vote Democrat because Marianna is the real populist. Oh, and then the Dakotas are gonna vote Republican because fuck the Dakotas, they're all so evil. It's DI, which is why what's gonna happen is all the small states, the evil small states, are gonna revolt against democracy. And then whatever CGP Grey said about the president winning with 22% of the vote, which makes so much sense when the small states are divided equally. When you need DC, Wyoming, Vermont, and Idaho to vote the same way. He was so right, guys. Yeah, and Mr. Beat as well. Ignore how he nearly shot himself when he had to make a video about Trump winning the 2024 presidential election. Ignore how he's become an open partisan, even though he's supposedly this, unbiased history teacher. He's just examining history. He's become a cultist, which is weird because TPC has also become a cultist, but that's against the point. You know, I try not to accept opinions from 12-year-olds as gospel. Um, Maryland, Massachusetts, and then I think it'd be Wisconsin after that. Um, I think Virginia would be the tipping point. And then Elon Musk, the Nazi wins, even though all of the big states vote for John Stewart. It's rigged, and then what happens is there's a civil war, which I idolize for some reason, because I guess I will really have a bloodlust. Because I've been told by CNN that Republicans are evil, even though Democrats are a transparently evil party that's policies are anti American. So I think Jon Stewart wins. Uh, the uh, the 2028 mod on New Campaign Trail is what happens, where Trump wins, but then Taylor Swift overthrows him. I need to take my meds.